Hey folks, it's Maxie here, and welcome to a brand new TEW2020 video. Believe it or not, the first one of 2023, and it's with Impact, our development company. Now this one, there's not been a great build to it, I'll happily admit that. The last taping was obviously when I played way back, so obviously I've wanted to change a few things. The good thing is between now and Sacrifice, it's the 1st of March, I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to avoid a February event, and that's going to give me 8 weeks. So that's 2 sets of times 4 tapings, and I'm hoping we can really get a lot of storyline stuff done in that time to make sure the storylines are really kicking in both companies, developmental and the main roster, and so we can start adapting more of the new gen talents and the younger talents that of course will be in AEW way down the line. So it's a decent show, it's building a lot of stuff, but I'm hoping it can do the business and you can see what we're kind of going to do in the future. So without further ado, this is the first event of 2026, the first event of 2023 IRL, and this is Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill. So my thinking was to go straight in, good matchup, get the crowd going, and kind of see who we're going to push in the future. So we're now in the Joe Allen Stadium, 24,000, nearly 25,000 for a developmental show. That is not too shabby, it must be said. But this was all about Legion getting their second title defence, their first on pay-per-view, and they took on the Gunn Club, and they won in 11:55 when Raul Mendoza pinned Austin Gunn with a suplex backbreaker combination. So happy with that. 59, you can see there, Mendoza and Phantasma pretty much really over. Popularity's good, the skill set's good, but I feel like the entanglement the likes of the Gun Club can only help Austin and Colton going forward, but that was to get the crowd on their feet and ready to go. Next up, with a promo from some returnees to AEW, and they're in the developmental, is the show. It is Daddy Magic McManard and Angelo Parker, and they're just basically saying it's good to be back, and they're here to put on a show for everybody to see what they can do. But I feel it's two great hands that obviously when I started the mod was like, I didn't really know too much about them, didn't watch NXT at the time, but have grown to and really enjoy within the time of AEW, and they bring a 47 rating. Moving along then, we had them take on Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong from the Undisputed, of course. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole doing their stuff on the main roster. Bobby Fish is kind of just floating around into obscurity. Pretty realistic then. But anyway, this matchup was decent. The show picked up the win to get some overness at 11:53. Angelo Parker defeating Bobby Fish by a lung blower, and that gave us a 49 rated segment. We did have to protect Bobby Fish, wasn't too happy putting them over, but he's 46, so you kind of have to look at the younger talents getting over. So good win for the show going forward. I then had the debutant, which with Orange Cassidy, he's signed to just basically have good matches and put people over, but the guy called Corbin has debuted. And he says he's sick of stupid stuff like Cassidy. He's sick of what all this stuff is in Impact and it is in AEW. And he's here to just destroy people, make money, and win championships. So I had the opportunity to sign Corbin. WWE released him, and I felt like the overness that he had was good for developmental. So that's why I was signed to Impact. And I feel like he's someone that can put over the younger talents and still carry out an entertainment promo. So 73, that's fine. If we get a decent main event matchup, we're fine. So all good stuff there from Corbin. Very creative with the name. I didn't really fancy going with his real name, Tom Pestock, but we'll stick with Corbin. All characters are always subject to change should they make the main roster as well. Speaking of main roster, we have a lot of people drafted down, like Shotzi Blackheart and Mia Yim, but this is where we need some of our women to get over, to get some good programs and put them and propel them back into a good position when they go to the main roster. They've maybe been lost in the shuffle, and this was no exception. Decent matchup. Shotzi picks up the win over Mia in 12:23 with the Fright Night. A 59. I mean, I don't mind Shotzi. I think it's a very, very unique look, and I do think she brings some really good energy to matches in real life, so we're going to give her a chance. And obviously Mia is just an absolutely fantastic talent that just this will make MD look strong. So good talents in the women's division. We then had an exceptional matchup that saw Garza Jr. defeat Kaito Kayoma in 13:15 with a wing clipper. 81. This was just a showcase matchup to build up to a program coming soon, but I feel with Garza, he's either going to win the Impact World Championship or he'll be gone very, very quickly because he is really good. With Kaito Kayama, it's just basically don't get lost in the shuffle on AEW, have some good matches here, maybe get some more overness, maybe get some entertainment skills, and be ready for a long-term push in the future. But 81, super stuff. Probably surpassed any expectations I would have had. Next up, we're about to had some good heat and decent wrestling. Kenta defeated 10 in 11:44 with the go to sleep. A 50, 10 has sustained broken ribs in the defeat. That might actually help what I'm aiming to book here, and you'll see why. So 50, Mickey lets us know, and then Kenta puts 10 through a table after attacking him with it, and that is a 48. So my plan here was, and you'll notice it because the character change will predominantly be on television. When he comes to the next event, he'll be in the new persona. But I was going to have some sort of injury angle where he questions number 10, and that's the transition to Preston Vance, and then we go Kenta versus Preston Vance at Sacrifice in 8 weeks' time. So I'm going to build to that, but the broken ribs may just delay that a little bit. We then had the X Division Championship on the line, a 7th defence for Ben Carter, and he defeats Akira Francesco in 12:44, or Francesco Akira, however you wish to call him, with a Phoenix Splash in dedication to his mentor. 68, solid stuff there, just because we want to establish him as the top of the X Division before going forward. And then we had a promo for the World Championship. Eddie Edwards had not been seen since the takeover, and he says it's his first opportunity to go for the gold. He thought he was getting lost in the shuffle with the AEW takeover, but this is his chance to cement his legacy as the guy to carry Impact forward, and he's going to take the belt from Jacob Fatu, and that was a 58. Which actually led to a very good matchup, superb matchup, but Jacob Fatu picks up the win in 13:53 with Samoan drop, giving him his 5th defence of the world title. I think Eddie's peak will be as a kind of mentor, I feel, here on Impact Wrestling. I feel he'll be somebody to mingle with the younger guys, but he gets his match in the sunset, and Fatu retains. And a 77, a very good result. We then have a hype package for another man coming to Impact Wrestling, a former Impact Wrestling talent, a former Ring of Honor talent, dropped down from AEW, but we're going to bring Jay Lethal. He's not the most over, he's obviously getting on in age, but technically very, very good. The promos are good, another solid hand to help with the younger talent. Then had the Knockouts Championship on the line. It was a matchup that had good heat and decent wrestling, and Willow Nightingale gets the win over Chelsea Green this time in 12:18 with a Fisherman Suplex. Our new Impact Knockouts champion is Willow Nightingale. So 55 with to keep Chelsea Green very strong here, but it's time for her just to go to the main roster. Her and Cardona as the Mixed Tag Team Championships and establish that as an act, and obviously get the championships a bit of prestige for Willow. A chance for her to have some many, many matches in the women's division here. Lots of opponents for her in the future. And I've got my eye on who I think she's going to face at Sacrifice. Wee celebration. Crowd goes wild. We know what our theme song's like. 66 is such an infectious theme song. And she's your new Knockouts champion. Which then leads us to our main event, the matchup that's been built for month after month after month. The final clash between Josh Alexander and Nick Aldis. And it was about to have good heat and decent wrestling, and it saw Josh Alexander pick up the win on Nick Aldis in 13:30 with a Pearl River plunge. 61, Josh gets the big victory, and it ends the show by calling out Jacob Fatu. He wants his proper opportunity. He wants one more chance at the Impact World Championship. He's never been Impact World Championship in this universe. Of course, he has in real life, and he is determined to make that a reality here. So 63, and we finish the show increasing the popularity in 36 regions with 68. We're going to have Cassidy and Corbin in a program. We're going to have Kenta and 10 in a program. Garza Jr. is going to get promoted up to the top. We're going to have Jay Lethal, and we're going to have Willow in the Women's Championship. Josh Alexander, Jacob Fatu, and many, many new gen entering the wrestling industry talents that are going to appear going forward. So it will be 2 months in game, which I think will probably equate to 3 or 4 videos down the line before we get to the next Impact show. But next up, it will be AEW Beach Break next Thursday. So I hope you join us for that one. It should hopefully be spectacular. And until next time, this is 21 Max. So check out the Fantasy Booker subreddit, the Grey Dog software forums, and all the other stuff that's on the old YouTube. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.